Hello, I'm Jack, and today I'm going to be showing you around VERTIGE, a 50-metre true piece of Italian art, delivered by Tankoa Yachts in 2017. She's got an award-winning exterior design and uses some really cool features to get the very most out of the space on board while staying under 500 gross tons. It's this maximisation of space throughout the yacht, along with the cool Italian styling, that have made her an absolute charter machine for the last few years. Now, she's looking for a new owner, which means two things. One, you can try before you buy, and two, if you do decide to buy her, you're very likely to offset a lot of your ownership costs with a yacht that you know generates a decent income. So with that in mind, please come on board. So we start the tour in the beach club. Now this is where you typically get on and off of all of the tenders and toys. It's a really fun and active part of the yacht. And what I'm stood on right now is actually the transom door folded all the way down. And it's the first of several extendable areas I'll be showing you through the tour. It's a great example of how this yacht really uses every possible opportunity to expand the deck spaces with really quite innovative features, particularly when she was built in 2017. So through here, we have access to the sea level gym, where you have exercise equipment, a small bar, and also a TV off to the side. So this area really is a wellness retreat right on the water. Further forward is where the tender used to be stored, but interestingly, the yacht now uses a chase boat which is kept off the yacht, with two jet skis up on the bow. This is something we're seeing more and more of nowadays, as it completely frees up that old tender garage for lots more storage. And in the case of VERTIGE, they've even installed a new cabin for an additional member of crew, meaning better service for the guests on board. So up from the beach club, we're on the main deck aft. Now this space is pretty big to start with, but then we also have these fold-down bulwarks on both port and starboard side, which makes the space feel enormous. VERTIGE has a beam of 9.4 meters, which for a 50-meter under 500 gross tons is pretty impressive in itself. But with the space extended, you've got an extra meter or so on either side. So you'll find yourself not only with a deck equivalent to that of a 70 or an 80-meter yacht, but you've got the direct views and this uninterrupted connection with the ocean, which is something I really like. So in terms of capacity here, you've got this massive sun pad aft, and then further forward the large U-shaped sofa with the two tables in the middle. So this space alone, you could easily have up to 20 people very comfortably spending quality time together, all powered of course by the bar tucked away in the corner. So while we're here, I think it's really worth talking about Tankoa, the builder of the yacht. And when you're on board, you really get a sense of the quality and the passion that's gone into the yacht. So Tankoa are based in Genoa and have been delivering pretty groundbreaking yachts for about the last 10 years. And they really pride themselves on the customization and the collaboration with their clients. This means that they only deliver 2 or 3 yachts a year. So they're not like many other Italian shipyards you may have heard of, which are constantly churning out semi-custom models. You know, they really spend the time and effort making sure that they maintain an incredible attention to detail. And that really shows in the look and the feel of the spaces on board. And it also means that these yachts stand the test of time. And VERTIGE is a great example of that. Her being an 8-year-old yacht that still presents and performs as new. It's also worth noting here that VERTIGE has always had the same captain and the same chief officer since delivery. So you know that all of the maintenance has always been taken care of by people who know the yacht inside out. So walking into the main salon, you get this calm, modern feeling created by Francesco Paszkowski and Margherita Casprini. So there's a lot of natural teak and some high gloss rosewood. and those huge windows that really keep you connected to the sea. I think it's the use of neutral tones and curved edges that just make this interior feel really soothing and relaxing. It doesn't feel too forced or over the top, but being on board, you can really feel the quality and everything. So we continue the theme of entertainment in here with a huge amount of seating. Again, you could comfortably have 15 people in here relaxing, out of the sun, or if you get the occasional spot of rain. So over here, you have the fold-down TV that's really nicely hidden away in the ceiling, contributing to that calm, flowing feeling when it's hidden out of the way. If you're dining inside, perhaps for a more formal occasion, the table further forward comfortably seats up to 12. A really nice design feature here is also the backlit Jerusalem stone feature wall, which I think is subtle but fits the space really well. And even better, hides the crew access, which is located almost invisibly over to the port side. So moving further forward, we get to the lobby. Now I'll just put everything back into context before we continue the tour. So down these stairs you have access to the guest staterooms, and up here you have the sky lounge, the bridge and the upper deck areas. To starboard you have access to the side decks from the lobby, and then moving further forwards now you have access to the crew area here, and then you get to this really cool feature. It's a 300 bottle illuminated wine cellar, which I think is a nice nod to the lifestyle-led design, and it fits into the theme of this yacht being all about entertainment. So furthest forward here, you have not one, but two main deck staterooms. The full beam master, and to port side, a really generous VIP. Now this is something you don't often find on a 50-metre yacht, as it's usually just the master up on the main deck with all the guest staterooms down below. But this layout is great if you've got very important people coming on board, like a close family member or an important business partner, because you can have them stay in a stateroom, which makes them feel a little bit more special than normal. So the VIP stateroom is almost full beam and has a really nice layout and tons of storage. You have the stunning ensuite bathroom with some really interesting stonework, particularly in the shower. You've got an incredible sized wardrobe, as well as all of the built-in entertainment systems you'd expect. So now into the master's stateroom. This full beam includes a private office, two fold-down side terraces, a king-size bed, walk-in wardrobe, spa-size ensuite, even a hidden minibar. So for me, it's really these balconies which make this stateroom and the whole yacht stand out on the market. I can't imagine many things better than waking up in the morning for a coffee on your own private balcony whilst anchored in a quiet bay, and then straight into the water for your morning swim. So whilst the VIP on this level is really unique for the type of yacht, it's the master which really steals the show, as it should. This space is also quite versatile, as you have a divider in the centre of the room in case you want a separation, particularly if the balconies are down and someone's still in bed. You've got a desk next to the bed, which can be used as a vanity or a second office space. So again, a great use of design to make the yacht work for all kinds of guests and circumstances, making her a top performer on the charter market. So now let's go and have a look at the guest staterooms down below. So down here on the lower deck, we've got 4 more guest staterooms, 3 doubles and a twin, which can be set up also as a triple. And that gives us great flexibility if you've got kids on board or other guest setups. Each one has its own character with different artwork and slightly different color themes, but all have top-notch en-suites, high-end finishes, and loads of storage. The way that they've designed the spaces, nothing feels like a second-tier cabin. It's all really well thought out. For me, it's a perfect setup for an owner with a really big family or a big friendship group, or if you're planning to put her on the charter market. So also, while we're talking about accommodation, you of course have the crew who stay on board. There are 10 crew on VERTIGE who are split across 6 cabins. You've got the captain's cabin up on the bridge, and then you've got 4 on the lower deck forward next to the crew mess and the galley, all hidden away from guest areas, but with enough space and access around the yacht to make sure that all of the behind the scenes operations happen as smoothly as possible. And as I said before, the owner then decided to install an additional crew cabin in the aft, and that's where the engineer now stays. And now let's head 2 floors up to the sky lounge. stepping into the Sky Lounge, we've again got that really laid back, comfy feeling. It's a bit like your living room, but at sea. This space is also referred to as a cinema room, so it's no surprise that you've got this huge TV here to port, perfect for keeping the kids entertained when they're not playing in the water, or for daytime movies if the weather's not playing ball. We've also got blackout curtains and a serious surround sound system, so there's really no better place to watch the football or the latest Avengers movie. There's also a fully stocked bar, so really whatever you want, it's just a great place to unwind. So now we're on the upper deck aft, which is really one of my favourite places on board the yacht. You've got a huge alfresco dining table here that seats 14, which is usually where the more informal dinners happen, with a sunset on the horizon or under the stars. There's simply nothing better than being up here at night with 13 of your nearest and dearest, being served the finest food and drinks throughout the evening. You then have a service area to starboard to keep the party going once dinner's finished. So furthest aft, you've got this huge seating area to enjoy a digestive with some great views. You even have a 65-inch retractable screen in case you want to have something playing in the background. So of course, if you want to take the party to the next level, we've got the sun deck just above. But first, I want to show you somewhere a bit more secluded, away from the party, the foredeck. So right up here at the bow, we've got this really private, relaxed seating area with the big sun pads forward and the U-shaped sofa and 2 tables here by the bridge. It's totally tucked away from the buzz of the aft decks if you're entertaining, or perhaps a nice place to escape for a moment. It's also the perfect spot for a quiet morning coffee or a peaceful sunset moment. Further forward, you have a very functional area for the jet skis and more storage, which makes this bow area a great combination of functionality and comfort. So talking of jet skis and functional areas, and of course being an incredible charter yacht, VERTIGE comes with enough space and storage to be loaded with toys. There's currently a 10-metre main tender, which is kept off the yacht as a chase boat, which allows for plenty of storage for the 2 jet skis, sea bobs, paddleboards, inflatables, dive equipment, kayaks, and the list goes on. Obviously, if you decided to buy VERTIGE, you would of course decide what toys would go on board. But the point is, you certainly won't run out of room, which is a notorious problem on yachts. Now let's talk about the performance and technical side and head into the wheelhouse. So now we're in the bridge, which in itself is pretty standard, but the performance on VERTIGE is what sets her apart. She's powered by twin MTU V8 4000 series engines, each putting out over 1,000 horsepower. That gives her a top speed around 16 knots and a really comfortable cruise speed of 14. She's also got a seriously impressive range, up to 4,500 nautical miles at cruise speed. So crossing the Atlantic, which she's done before, or going on long adventures isn't a problem. With a fuel capacity of 69,000 litres, she's built for proper blue water cruising. Of course, you've got 0-speed stabilisers to keep things smooth when you're anchored or underway. And with the tech stuff out of the way, let's go to the party on the sun deck. So here we are on the sun deck, the highest point of the yacht. This is the spot with the best views, the most privacy, and this is normally where the party ends up at the end of the night. And it's quite the space to do it in. You've got a jacuzzi up front, surrounded by big, cushy sun pads, ideal for soaking in the view with a cocktail or 2. And I also like how you've got the storage and ice buckets built in around the hot tub, so you're never more than arm's reach from a top up. To starboard, we have a full bar with fridges, ice machine, sink, and a pop-up TV. And over to port side, we have the alfresco dining space for 10 to 12 guests. So whether it's a lazy lunch or a sunset cocktail party, this deck is always buzzing. So you've got adjustable sunshades in the center to give you that added bit of protection from the sun. And you've also got the sound system built in just above. so you can keep the atmosphere just right, whatever time of day it is. So hopefully I've shown you just a few of the aspects which make VERTIGE really stand out in the 50-metre category. You've got 6 staterooms, which is really rare for this size. Loads of deck space, seriously stylish interiors. You've got some great fold-down features which really connect the yacht to the water. All of that packed into a yacht which still comes under 500 gross tons. She's got the kind of layout and features you'd expect on a much larger vessel, which is why she's been so successful in the charter market. So whether you're after private cruising or looking to offset ownership through charter, VERTIGE has the versatility, style and pedigree to deliver. So thank you for joining me on the tour. If you're interested in learning some more, or if you want to step on board for yourself, all of our contact details are in the description below. Please don't hesitate to get in touch.